Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
He's a father, a brother, an icon to those that know him. He is Endeavor Empire.
Well, here we go again. How's everybody doing out there? Y'all doing all right? It's a fun day. It's a good day. Every day is a great day. My name is Derek, and I am Endeavor Empire. I want to welcome you guys to the show. Hope everything in your life is going right. I mean, I know mine is. I mean, I ain't won a lottery yet, but it's coming. It's coming. It's all good. So I hope we're all having an joyous, fun time. Appreciate you guys being here with me on my show, listening to me, and just making me the man I am today. No, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. Now, what I do want to say thank you. Thank you to my listeners. Thank you for everything. You know, I might just break out in a song. Hold on now. Hold on. All right. So today we have some more questions or more, maybe kind of a challenge this listener is facing. Yes. She is kind of questioning her work status with her work husband, and not her work husband like her real actual husband. And I guess it's sort of kind of leaving her drained and kind of feeling that she has to do different things. So without further ado, let's get into this next letter. This comes from a listener who is out of Eugene, Oregon. Her name is Anisa. Here we go. Hello, Mr. Derek. How are you? I'm good. So I hope you're doing the same. Hope everything is good with you. My name is Anisa. I've been married for 6 years to my husband, Alex. Though it has been great, there are some challenges. I would first like to say we met on a dating site, which I admit was a bit different, but worked out great. That's good. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. A bit about myself. I enjoy the simple life with some drama. Keeps the life healthy. Not sure about that, but okay. Your opinion, not mine. I am 29 years old. My husband is also 29. As it turns out, we're 5 months apart. LOL. We have 2 beautiful children who we both adore and take care of. We live in a small but cozy town of Eugene, Oregon. I have recently come onto your podcast as we both travel about an hour and a half to work in Portland. Not uncommon. I know a lot of people that travel way further than that, but hey, it is what it is. This brings me to somewhat of my dilemma or my issue. You be the judge. I am the judge. No, I'm just joking. Me and my husband work at the same job, and at some point of time, we thought it would be fun to do so, or at least I did. We could carpool together, pick up the kids, and all be home together at the same time. In a sense, we save money by doing so. But my problem is, I just feel like there's no break in between us. For me, it's getting a bit tiring, frustrating, if you know what I mean. We work for an employer that I choose not to say. The money is great, as well as the company, but oftentimes I feel that we need our own independence at times. I could see if we both owned the company, then it would be a bit easier, or maybe not. Not sure that'd be different, but hey, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong, there's not another man I want to be with but him, but it's 24/7 with us, from sun up to sundown. I want to tell him that I want to pursue another venture, job related, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. But I also feel that if I don't, our marriage will suffer. When we go to work, everyone knows that we're married and that it's a great thing, or it can be, and then it can be not so great thing, if you know what I mean. Shouldn't have said that, you know what I mean, but then again, I say it's all good all the time, so hey, it's all good. I always feel that there's eyes on us because it seems there are someone in the type of office drama, but we're not about that. Though I've been through some times where we argue over some stupid things, mostly because I feel that he's a bit nicer to female co-workers than me. And you know as well as I that some of them eat it right up, as well as they probably would. I mean, it's no different there. I admit I'm a bit jealous, but not crazy jealous. I hope not. But at the end of the day, we both go home to each other, and sometimes the long car ride home can be a little bit interesting, if you know what I mean. I do know what you mean. No, actually, I don't know what you mean because I don't travel an hour for work, but it's all good. Whatever. He is the best husband and father. And when he sees fellow co-workers, men, she has it in parentheses, talking to me, he just smiles and keeps working and never says anything about it. Scary, but maybe not. I might be just bugging. Mr. Derek, please give me your honest opinion. I know that in your past podcast, you said you and your wife, sorry, late wife, my condolences, thank you, by the way, have worked together. And I wanted to know more about if it was good or am I just being selfish? And then she puts down at the bottom, I love the fact that I can email a complete stranger for advice because my family thinks it's better this way. And my friends aren't any better, LOL. Yeah, we'll dive into that. Anisa, first I'd like to say thank you for your letter. Thank you for listening to my podcast, though you caught it on an hours-long ride to work, because sometimes my podcast can't go for an hour, so that does kill a lot of time, you know. 1 minute I'm talking, next minute you there, punching that clock. It's all good. So, you're concerned that working with your husband is taking a toll on your marriage. And let's get into that. So, as I said before, and thank you for the condolences for my late wife, who I really loved, who I still love. Working with your spouse can have some advantages. It has some disadvantages, and it could have some advantages. So we will test that theory out. I mean, I know it's different for everybody. For me, it wasn't as bad. It really wasn't bad. I think going into it, it started off fun. And I think as time went on, because we didn't really spend a lot of time together at work. As I said before, I was a bus driver. My wife was a monitor. So it's not like we were randomly always together because she wasn't a monitor on my bus. But for the most part, we were both she was starting to enter the work world. I was already established in the work world, and she just wanted to start working because she wanted to earn and contribute to the relationship. Through no fault of mine, my wife just loved her money, and she's a very independent woman. And that's one of the key factors I love about her. But this doesn't sound like you're having this problem. I think what you guys did, in the beginning, it does seem like a fun thing to do, and it seems like a great thing to do. Because let's be honest, working with your spouse, you get to see them 24/7. Now, depending on who you are and how your relationship is, that could be a good or bad thing. Me personally, it wasn't really bad for me. And of course, there's always drama because if you have married couples at work, there's always females or males. I think females are worse at it than males are, that kind of test the limits of your marriage and try to, in a flirtatious sort of way. And some don't even do that. Some do or some don't. You kind of already know who they are. So, and they try to push that envelope as far as being flirtatious with your husband, and they look at you and give you that, that kind of devilish look, like, yeah, girl, if he want me, he can have me, or if I want him, I can have him. That kind of shit. I know y'all know what I'm talking about because we've all seen it. So, I don't think it's bad, but then he does not return the favor, which I think is freaking awesome, because this was me when I was working. I think that if you go to work and you're at a 9-to-5 job, or you're at any job, is there a little flirtation? Maybe there is. I mean, it's nothing that I would be concerned about, because when I work with my wife, and you have to understand, when you're working together, there are obstacles. Not really obstacles per se, but I mean, unless you're working at an all women or men's place, then there's a good chance of a variety of people, men, women, and I'm not saying it's always going to be drama. It just depends on the person and how well you handle yourself. So you say you are a little bit jealous, but I don't think you're that. And you say you're not crazy jealous, but I know it kind of gets to you. But I'm not sure why it would get to you, because we're at work. If I know who I'm going home to at the end of the day, I'm completely fine with it. I'm completely good with it. So, excuse me. So on that part, I'll leave that at that. You guys said you guys have been married for 6 years. I'm not sure how long you guys have been working together. I don't know if it's been that long. 6 years. That's kind of like double the time on your marriage. You work together for 6 years and you work together for 6 years. And again, in some areas it can work. You said there's no break in between. I definitely understand that. Because working with someone and seeing them 24/7, 7 days a week, there is no break. I don't know if you guys have the same off day, or if this is a Monday through Friday thing, or your days are different or off. Yes, I definitely get that, because I think in a relationship or a marriage, you kind of need that independence to work. I mean, to not work, but to kind of be by yourself sometime, and that's not a bad thing, because when we're getting our day ready and you guys have kids from sun to sundown, it's like you guys are constantly there with each other. It's like there is no break in between. And that to me would be kind of irritating and frustrating. So I get that part. I really do. I understand that part. And that's not a problem. So I think what you're trying to do is a good thing. If you know your marriage is going to suffer through that, then it's best that you guys sit down and talk about it. And like I said, we'll go through some things, some factors and some deals of, the good and kind of the bad. But, it seems like you guys work together, you travel together. I mean, you do save some money together and you have kids. And I don't think it's affecting you now, but I think it is affecting you. So let's dig in. Let's see what we can do to try to help you, maybe get you on the path that you need. If you guys give me just a hot second, I need to pause for the cause. I think something just blew in my cup of tea. I got to have my tea when I'm out here doing this podcast. So I'm going to let y'all groove to some music for about maybe a minute or two. Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get some business. I need my tea. I'm like a crackhead without this tea. Things might start spiraling out of control. It's probably total anarchy here. In any event, I'm going to try to help you, Miss Anisa, or give you my honest opinion on how. Oh, Lord, you see how good I sound now? Like when I had that sip of tea? Hold on. Let me get another sip. My tea and vape. My fifth thing that I love. But as I was saying, I definitely understand the no break in between. You guys are truly doing this, and I admire what you guys are doing. I like what you're doing. Should things change? That solely depends on you. Now, from my point of view, I would probably change some things, because if I feel that my relationship is being drained because we are spending too much time together, then it would be a problem for me. Now, I know for some of y'all out there listening, like, well, I don't see the problem. I think working with your spouse is the best thing. It is not always, because some of y'all have a totally different hidden agenda. Some of y'all want to spy on your spouses to see the way they're treating the female workers versus you, like Miss Anisa has said. And let me touch on that. Just because you see either your husband or boyfriend treating somebody like totally different, they're at work. You can't take what they do at home and then bring it to work. Now, if there was, I mean, if they were always an asshole and then you see that different side at work because of another female, then yeah, I would maybe say something, but you can't take what he does at home with you and then kind of compare that at work. Oh, he's being too nice. Well, damn, what did he say? Oh, he said thank you to her. Well, how did he say it? Did he say it in the sexual way? Thank you. Yes. I appreciate you. No, don't worry about it. I'll take care. Did he say it like that? I mean, or did he just say, hey, thank you, I appreciate it? I mean, there's a difference. Come on, y'all. Let's be real about this. So when you're working with your spouse, you can't base what goes on at home at work. It doesn't work that way. You know, it's work. I mean, if that was the case, neither one of y'all would have jobs. But in any event, because men do it, but men don't do it. But, you know, you can kind of tell. I mean, it just kind of depends, whatever. In any event, I think that alone time is good. We're going to dive into some situations here. Not situations, but some pros and cons of working with your spouse, according to marriage.com. Some of them I can agree with, some of them I don't. And then I can probably just give you my honest opinion. So the first one we have on the list would be you understand each other. And this is what I just said, maybe in a sense. You share the same field as your partner. You can unload your complaints, your queries. Moreover, you can also be sure that your partner will have your back. In many cases, when partners don't know much about each other's profession, they can come be agitated and about the time spent at work. They don't know about the job's demands and can therefore make unrealistic demands of their partner. However, in the same profession and especially the same workplace, couples are likely to have a better understanding. Okay, so I understand what they're saying on that. But here's the thing. If you guys are in two different professions and you're doing what you love and he's doing what he loves, even though he tells you what his job is, leave it at that. I mean, the crazy thing is that some of us know the stress of a job or that a person has when they get the job, before they get the job, because there are factors that go into it. And if you're discussing that with your significant other and saying, well, this is what the hours are going to be, you know, the money is this, the money is that. And I think we kind of get keyed in about the money, because if the money is a lifestyle that you've never had before, or that you're trying to work towards, then yeah, there's going to be some hard work. There's going to be some hard work. But when you're working together, and this goes back to Anisa, when you're working together, there's no room for nothing, because you already know what you're both doing at work. Unless you're on two different floors, two different levels. I mean, even in a different department in an area of the place that's somewhat the same, so to speak, kind of like Walmart. You know, Walmart has a bunch of different departments. So even if you're in a different department, you're still going to see each other. It's not a big deal. It's not like he's working on the second floor and you're working on the fifth floor, so to speak. So you kind of know what the job entails. And then you kind of know it entails what the office drama is, or, you know, what it's about. So understanding each other would be, in my sense, just for me knowing that how your job is and how your job operates. I don't need to do your job in order for me to understand your job, because it may not be something that you like or he likes. So, I mean, that's in a nutshell about that. So, and then they said about the job's demands. So you both know, if you're working at the same company, what the demands are of a job. You know, what if it's going to be mandatory overtime, if you guys are going to, you know, get off at the same time, which I'm sure, certainly, mostly, maybe, depending on the job or the profession that you're in. But something like that. So, number two, you have each other's backs. Sharing the same profession comes with a lot of perks, especially when it comes to doubling up on your efforts, meeting a deadline, finishing a project. One of the best perks is being able to shift the load when someone is sick. Without too much effort, your partner can jump in and know exactly what is expected. In the future, you also know what you will be able to what you'll be able to do to repay the favor. Well, I can tell you what you can do to repay the favor. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so this to me is not really a big deal because unless you own your company and it's physically the two of y'all, maybe a handful of employees, then this is kind of where this would come to play. But if you're in like a big conglomerate of a corporation or a retail store or something else, and there's a variety of employees, so it's not like you being sick, taking off for the day, I'm going to actually pick up your slack. No, that's what there are other coworkers and employees for, to do that. So it's not like they're putting it all on you. Hey, Derek, your wife didn't come in today, so I'm going to need you to do double the work. It's not like that. It's not like that. And then this type of shit happens every day. People call off. We have to pick up the slack. Not a big deal. Not really a big deal. So I kind of don't really agree with that statement, but at the same time, you guys kind of understand what they're saying. Because I've yet to see that. Now, back in the day, before the world was what it is today, yes, that was probably a factor in that. Because if a husband and wife is working together and they both know each other's work habits, their job, then yeah, the other can kind of get in there, fill in, maybe do a little bit of the work. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe do a little bit of the work. So yeah, I get that part. I definitely understand it. So number 3, we have more time together. Lord, ain't that the truth? Couples who don't share the same occupation often complain about the time that they spent apart due to work. When you share a common occupation at work for the same company, you have the best of both worlds. Do you though? A job which you love and someone you can share with. It definitely makes those long nights at the office worthwhile if your partner can enjoy. It takes the sting out of overtime and gives a social and sometimes romantic feel. A couple of these things I agree with. The long nights at work. Yes. And the romantic feel in the office break room. Let me tell you something. I've done some things that I'm not proud of that we're not going to get into. Let's just say they were good. We all have that. We've all done crazy stuff. So, but I'm not even going to get into that. Play Palace at McDonald's. No, I'm just joking. In any event, I understand what they're saying, but this kind of goes back to that you need to kind of leave, you kind of need some room for desire, some room for passion. When you go to work and you walk out that front door, I mean, when I was working, I couldn't wait to get home to see my wife. Oh my God. I couldn't wait to see her, that beautiful smile, her face lighting up and just saying, oh my God, hey, how was your day? And she would always ask me how my day was. And then in return, I would always ask how her day was, because that's what I loved about it. You want to leave some kind of romance or mystery or whatever, when you're working apart, because I don't know. To me, it's exciting. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but if you have a good relationship and you love the one you're with, then getting home to that person is everything. Everything. From the minute you wake up and you leave, you miss that person when you walk out the front damn door. And then you're thinking about it during the day. You guys talk, but talking on the phone is just not that the same as when you coming through that front door and she's there greeting you with open arms, or he's there greeting you with open arms, whatever. But you kind of know what I'm saying, all right? Yeah, okay, I get it. All right, yeah. But, and again, this goes back to knowing that if we sign up for a job, we talk to our spouse about it, we know what this job is going to entail. So again, that can be a good thing, because the good thing is that while he's at work making money, or you're at work making money, there's room so when you guys get home and see each other, yeah, you're going to be tired, but you're not going to be too tired to hold each other in each other's arms, kiss each other, tell each other how your day was. Oh, baby, it was a beautiful day. Yeah, we had this deal go down and it was good. Things like that you can be proud of. So I definitely understand that. So now number 4 is better communication. The best part about working in the same office as your spouse is that you commute to work. That's a bonus. What otherwise would be a long ride now becomes a ride full of conversations. You will be able to discuss everything as couples as you need. After the work hours, you can discuss how the day went and the challenges that you face. You can vent all frustrations that might be accumulating in due to work pressure. Just the assurance that you have someone who listens to you and to share your problems is a great consolidation of the face of adversities. After you let out your frustration in the car, you can go home with some more relaxed state of mind, play with your kids, dogs, cats, to each other. Well, I don't know about that yet, okay? This is one of the ones where I'm kind of on the fence about, and I'm going to tell you why. Because even though you work at the same job with your spouse, and as I said before, if your spouse does something that you don't like at work, to or for another coworker, you're damn sure going to have to hear it on the way home. And if it's a long hour and a half ride home, you're going to hear every damn minute of it. I mean, unless you can magically fly or teleport to home, you're going to hear every damn thing. And this goes both ways. Okay? So while you're thinking that you're asking, well, how'd your day go? You know how my day went. You was right there with me. That's a whole argument in itself. Okay? Now, the other argument is, well, I seen when you was talking to so-and-so, and then she told me that this, that, and the other. Not but knowing that you were telling something bad or intentional, but it's just the way you say things. Women, y'all have this bad. When a message is relayed to you guys put the sexy voice on it. Like a man can talk to another female co-worker and just say hi. Y'all will take that and turn that into 101 ways of being romantic with just by saying the word hi. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Stop playing. Y'all know what it is. He could say, hi, girl, what's wrong with you? Did you hear the way he said hi to her? Hi. Well, what did he say, girl? Hi. Did he say hi? Or did he say hi? No, he said hi. Okay. I mean, y'all do shit like that. I don't know why. I mean, listen, we don't have to be rude. And if we love you, if we go home with you and we respect you and our days are nothing but filled with love for you, leave it at that. It doesn't matter the way a person says hi or whatever. Or this one. Oh, I couldn't get that off the top shelf, so I asked if he can do it for, must be nice. Yeah, he wouldn't do that shit for me at the house. First off, we don't have high-ass shelves at the house. Okay? So let's bring it down a notch. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. So better communication. And you can vent the frustration. The frustration is, for maybe 10 seconds, the frustration will be about something bad that either happened with let's just say a customer or an issue at work. The printer ran out of ink or email went down for a hot minute. And though email went down for the better part of the whole damn day, that's not your primary concern. Your primary concern is what he was doing for someone or somebody else. Doesn't matter who or where was he at when the power was off or the phone were down. What was he doing or what was she doing? So that's what I'm talking about. So because that's the frustration. It's frustrating to work with someone that you love and your mind is not totally focused on the job itself. It's focused on what they're doing and how they're doing it or who they're helping or who they're with, you know? So communication can be better. And like I said, again, everybody is not like this, but I'm just trying to put this in perspective for some. Oh, I love tea. God, I love tea. Excuse me. But frustrations can come from array of things. And as we know, frustration can just be dealing with the workload itself. The frustration of someone eating your lunch. And those are sometimes the things we don't really discuss if we're working with a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or you know what I'm trying to say. Those things do not come up, even though those things should be the key issue at work, but they're not. It's always about somebody else instead of about what's actually happening in the workplace. So, yeah, Lord, y'all know I love my vape. Number 5. Well, hold on. After your frustrations let out in the car, which I totally disagree with, you have a relaxed state of mind and go home and play with the kids, dogs, or cat. That is total bullshit. Because you know as well as I know, if this shit's been lingering out through the whole day, it's going to be a whole day and night all the way home, till dinner's cooked, till we in the bed, and until we making some good love making. And maybe that might not. Well, this is what you would do if you was with her. No, I'm just joking. Come on, y'all know I'm just having fun. But listen, when I worked with my wife, I didn't really find anything wrong. Because again, we weren't always together. Now, there's always somebody at the workplace that is just spiteful and hurtful, and they're just trying to push your buttons, trying to see what kind of woman you are, what kind of man that you are. If they can flirt with you in a flirtatious way, you can see it, but they can't see it. And just because you see it doesn't mean they need to respond to it. And listen, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but some people are just genuinely nice, and that's just their work ethic. Like me, I'm always nice. There's been times where me and my wife would go to work and she would come home and she would say this about somebody else, and well, you treated her way better than you treated me. No, that's not true. I married you. I love you. So it doesn't matter what other way I treat people. You are my number one. They are not. They're just people I work with. And that should be it. So better communication, I don't know. Better communication can consist of us coming together on a project and collaborating on a project to make sure we get this project done. So that's my communication. Number 5, your spouse can relate to all your problems. Well, that kind of goes back to number 4. So number 4, number 5 should really be somewhat together, somewhat. Now you can understand each other's problems in a better light. You will know the kind of professional problems that your spouse is facing, and they'll know about you. Similarity, you can give them more information, professional and personal advice, in which you couldn't have if you weren't working together. Well, that may be true. And I'll give you that. But we're not there to watch each other work. That's why we have manager or bosses. And we want to be careful on that one, because your spouse can relate to all your problems. And though that they see what you're doing, and then somebody else maybe comes behind and critiques what you're doing, then they add their 2 cents in it, then you might take that as the wrong way. Well, how come you're not telling him that, but you're telling me this? Well, I see you doing it. And it's not even a bad thing. It could just be just the smallest things. But we can look at it as if your spouse gets to you first and says, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. This is what they're going to probably ask you not to do, or do it this way. That part. But I don't think if they're doing it, if they're agreeing with somebody, they're putting you on blast, because that raises a whole nother argument. So that's why I said number 4 should be in with number 5, because it's not the fact that you can relate to their problem. They're going to see this as you thinking that you are the problem and they're trying to correct that problem, or they want you to be put in your place because you guys are married. And that's kind of the sense, it's kind of the feel that I get with that. So I know some of you guys can relate out there, like working with your spouse, and well, yeah, when he said this about me and we was in a meeting and I felt like I was just being jumped on. And it's not even the case like that. It's business. From the time you go to work, from the time you punch in, from the time you punch out, it is strictly business. Your work ethic has nothing to do with the home life. Now, some of you might say, well, yes, it does. I don't think it does, because what you do at home and what you do at work are 2 different things. Now, can you apply? Excuse me. Can you apply some of those things? You can. You can. If it's making you a better person in terms of working, then yes. But we got to kind of remember, when we're working together, not everything is going to work that you do at home. You're not going to take that to work and be like, okay, well, I try this at home. Let me see if I can try this here. And if it doesn't work, just be prepared for the outcome. And the outcome cannot always be a negative thing. It's like I tell you guys before, any and everything somebody says to me, I take as a positive. I don't take it as a negative. I enjoy criticism, especially constructive criticism, because I want to be a better person. I don't want to be this person that, you tell me something and I'm going ham, or I'm going postal, or I'm in the bathroom shaving my damn head, trying to figure out where it went wrong. So that's just me. So number 4, number 5, somewhat the same. We'll leave it at that. All you do, this is number 6. All you do, is talk about work. Although there are upsides to sharing, the same field of work, there are also some significant drawbacks. And when you share a particular field of work, your conversation tends to become more centered around it. After a while, the only thing you can talk about is your job, and it becomes less meaningful. Even if you try to refrain from it, work always creeps to the conversation. It can become difficult to keep at work and focused on other things at home. Well, in a sense, it's kind of true. Because when I came home from work, and I would tell my wife, it would only be probably about maybe 30 or 40 minutes of this is what happened. Maybe less than that. It just kind of depends on the day I went. But things that are centered around work should kind of stay at work. And it's like I said before, when you guys punch in and you punch out, now when you're driving home, that's the unwind time. Depending on if you have an hour of time to kill, that whole hour should be your whole time to unwind. And then once you get to the kids or you get home, that should be it. We shouldn't discuss this no more. We should be discussing what's for dinner, what are we going to watch, what should we do tonight, and things like that. Once it's at work, leave it at work. I would let it go straight from there. I wouldn't kind of keep, I understand that things make us mad at work and we want to keep trying to talk it out and get it out of our system, but I feel that we've already done that. So why do we need to keep bringing it back over and over again? We don't need it. Just let it go. Is it going to change the outcome of anything? No. You're just venting your frustrations. You're letting things out. So not a whole lot I can say about that already hasn't been said. So we'll leave it at that. The next one, excuse me. Financial troubled water. Sharing the same field of work can be financially beneficial when the job is right. However, when things start to go south, you can find yourself in a financial predicament if your industry is badly affected. There would be nothing else to fall back on. One or both of you could lose your job and get a pay cut. And there will also be no way out of it other than try different avenues and occupations. So Anisa, this is where this comes in as being a positive. Because when I worked with my wife, we had the same off days. And then on the same off days, we would have days that we were still off together, like holidays, stuff that you wouldn't get paid for, or that you would or you wouldn't get paid, that you would get paid for. So I think that while you having a different job and him having a different job is good, because like they say, you never know what's going to happen. And there's no point of both of you being out of work, because if both of you are out of work, then you're both trying to hustle and trying to struggle to find the next job. So this is where I say you finding a different job away from him is a good thing, because you're in two different employers. If something happens to him or something happens to you, God forbid, either one of y'all can fall back on each other. And that's what me and my wife had. So when we worked together and when we stopped working together, she had her own thing, she had mine. Well, there was money still coming in. But in the same sense, even though she's doing what she loved and I'm doing what I love, there was no issue there. Money wasn't a factor. So you definitely want to have something to fall back on. And I think as COVID taught us, if we're both in the same field, well, we're both suffering, because we both have the same job. We both don't know where the next paycheck is coming from or how we're going to survive or how we're going to live. So I understand that during COVID that there were some that were essential workers and there were some that were non-essential workers, where the essential workers still had jobs, had to get money. And I was an essential worker. So though my wife couldn't go to work, I could, because I was an essential worker. I needed to transport medical supplies to local hospitals and wherever they needed to go. So that is a good thing. So I think in that sense, when you talk about finding another job, that is one of the key factors, in my opinion, that should be looked at and kind of studied upon. Because like I said before, if something goes wrong with his job or something goes wrong, if you're both to get the same job, then you're both like, oh my God, how did this happen? And we all see that sometimes this does happen. We've seen couples that have work together and they both would be laid off on the same job. And it's sad. There's nothing you can do about it. What can you do? Nothing. I mean, you're both going to be upset. You're both going to cry because you both lost income at the same damn time. Is it fair? Not really. Does it happen? All the time. All the time. So, number eight is not really a big thing to me, but I'll read it anyways. And we'll kind of get through it, but it's not really, I know it's meant for somebody, but we're going to read it anyway. So number 8 is that it becomes a competition. If you and your partner are both goal-driven individuals, working in the same field can turn into some serious unhealthy competition. You start to compete against each other, and it's inevitable that one of you will succeed faster than the other. When you work for the same company, you can become more envious of each other. Just think about the opportunities that you both can have as advancements within your company. If one of you gets it, the other can lead to resentment and bad vibes. Okay, so a little bit about that. I believe that to be true. My wife wasn't jealous of me, even when I became her boss, because at the end of the day, she's still the boss. Let's keep it real. But she respected my position. You know, when we were working together at the bus company and I advanced into management, I became a lead dispatcher, and she respected that. She did. There was no favoritism. There was no competition, or there was no, he's doing a bad job, or any of that. And I know some of us have that drive in us to compete against each other, and you don't really need to, because you've already won. What's the prize? The prize is that you won each other. So if you know your work ethics at home, and then you both bring them to the job in a positive way, then eventually somebody's going to get promoted, and eventually somebody's going to be happy for you. Now, why you wouldn't be happy with that person, I don't know. Do you think they would probably get a big head or something like that? Maybe show favoritism to another coworker? Maybe. But that wasn't my thing. My thing was, I was always driven to just to do better. You know, my wife, she's made management. She's done management. And I couldn't be more happy about her, because there's a lot of things that she's taught me and vice versa. So I don't think that, because I know that there's a lot of couples that are just in competition with each other. You know, they want to make themselves look good instead of working together as a team to make the team look better. And I get that. I do. At the same time, I kind of don't. Because how many people are you stepping on, including the one that you love? Even though I did say when you go to work, it is just business. Just because it's business doesn't mean you have to dog the one out you love, or disrespect the one that you love. You don't have to do that. So you don't say anything in your letter that this is an issue, this part here is an issue. I get that. So I definitely understand that. I do. I definitely get it. I understand it. Now, I don't even think that there's a time I can recall that me and my wife were in such competition with each other, which we really weren't. I mean, did she do a lot of things better than I did? Yes. Even though I'm the one that taught her, but I was always proud of her. And nothing made me feel a lot more better and more happy than knowing that I helped her out along the way and that she is succeeding at what she is doing. And it's not thanks because of me, it's thanks because of us, because we are a team together. And when you're a team together and you're helping the other succeed, and it's nothing but a great feeling. That's like when either husbands and wives are backing each other on starting a business. They are there thick and thin to start that business. And that business grows into a success, and you guys are looking like, well, we've came a long way. That's what I'm talking about. So if you want to be in competition with each other, be in competition to make each other succeed. Be in competition to back each other up 24/7. Now, you're always going to have that workplace drama where somebody's going to say something crucial about the one that you love. Don't take it personal, because I didn't. I didn't take none of it personal. Now, if I felt that my significant other was being attacked, I might step in and say, and try a different approach, but not go in all ham and go crazy on everybody and say, well, this is my wife, y'all gonna respect. No, because that's when we're bringing the home life into the work life. And this is just business. It's nothing personal, just business. So Oh, Lord, after this, I'll get some more tea. Lord, I love this tea. I hope y'all have Red Diamond where y'all at in Eugene, Oregon. Because I know Red Diamond here is off the chain. Okay, so. Moving on. No personal space. Now, this is what Anisa's talking about. Well, it's one of the first cons that come with the territory. You just won't have any personal space. It is self-explanatory as it gets. If you're one of those who need their warm personal space, working with your partner is not the best idea for you. And Anisa, I feel that through this letter that you have written me, I don't think this is for you. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you just want the independence, as well as a lot of us do. Sometimes working with your spouse can be a good thing because there's a lot of factors involved. A lot of factors. And whatever the factor may be, it could be a good thing for the time being. But going forward and seeing each other all the time and, from sun to sundown, I got to be honest with you in this. I don't honestly see how you made it this far. I don't know if y'all been in the same job together for 6 years, but that to me is it's kind of stressful to me because there is no alone time, and if you see him regular like I think you do in this letter, because when you see him talking to other coworkers, then I think it's kind of a regular thing. So I think it's not a bad thing to want this. It really isn't. I think it is a good thing because, again, like I said before, there's room for romance. There's room for, in my mind, mystery. And excuse me, Lord, I keep burping this tea. What I mean by mystery is that me and my wife, we would play a game that we didn't think we were playing. And it's called the waiting game. Couldn't wait to get home. Couldn't wait to see you. Couldn't wait to be with you. That was our waiting game. And I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. I freaking loved it. So the waiting game to me every day was fun because when I would leave, the minute I set foot out the bed or leave the house to go to work, I just could not wait to get home to her. I cannot wait to see her smiling face. I cannot wait just to hold her. And I know I keep saying it, but that's what it is. When your relationship is strong and it's built on love, trust, and honesty, none of that other shit matters. It kind of goes out the window. And knowing that you're at home waiting for me or I'm at home waiting for you, oh my gosh, talk about a feeling of butterflies and rush. I love it. Oh my God, I love it. It is freaking ridiculous. But having your own personal space is a good thing. We all need it. We all should have it. And again, this podcast may not be for some of y'all. Some of y'all might have the best working relationship with your spouse. And hats off to you. I am grateful that you do. But not everybody's built the same way. Would I do this again with my wife? I probably would. Would it last long? Maybe not. But then again, me and my wife had worked long enough, so hard together with our kids and building our life together, been married for 26 years. I wouldn't trade anything for none of that. I would give any day, anything just to see her smile again and just to hear her say my name. Just for me to hold her in my arms. And that's the kind of feeling we should have when we're working or if we have somebody at home, But if you're working with each other, the benefits of working with each other is that other people can see you as a power couple. They can see that, no matter what comes your guys' way, you can deal with it right then and there, whether it's negative, positive, or vice versa, or anything bad, anything that arises, or if somebody's trying to tear you apart, you don't let that happen. So when you're working together, people can see that you are in a united front. People can see that, oh, they mean business. No, they don't play around. No. Or that office coworker that can try to be flirtatious with either you or your husband or whoever, and they know that their advances are not welcome and they quickly get shut down. I had that same notion. My wife had that same notion. Do sometimes we kind of fall and slip up? Yeah, we do. But I think when we fall, we pick ourselves up and we don't let nobody else help us up. And to me, I like that, because if somebody else is helping us up, then they're, Lord knows what they're only thinking to help themselves. Now, I said that backwards. When you fall and you pick yourself up, that means you can do better by keeping yourself in control. But, and take this metaphorically speaking, if you're letting somebody else help you up, then in their mind, it's kind of a game. You may not think it's a game. They may think it's the game. And the game is that this is what the angle I'm working. So do we sometimes want to play the victim in our own kind of falling? I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to make sense of this the best way I can. So I know I'm kind of flip-flamming from whatever, but this tea got me going crazy. Now it's just chugging at that tea. But you know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. So I want to be at all fair, and I want to be at all, partial about this. You have people at work that will want to see you fail. And when you have people at work that want to see you fail, they win. Even though when they win, they want nothing to do with you, because what they've already done, they succeeded at. And I don't know why that is, but you have people like that in this world. But Anisa, it sounds like you have a great husband who doesn't welcome those kind of advances. But people will push your buttons. My advice is just don't let them. Number 10, we've already covered, but we'll go over it a little bit again. Not too much. You will take your work home. Suppose you have an argument regarding work. If you're co-workers, the argument would cease to exist outside the office. But since you are a couple, you most likely take the argument home. This can disrupt the positive energy in your home, since the lines between work and home become so blurred. Separating the two is almost impossible. And we just talked about that. Because as a couple, people want to see you guys fail. Some do, some don't. Most of the times, let me put it to you this way. I've worked with a lot of husbands and wives, and I would never like to see them fail. Now, I've seen some arguments that have ensued on the job, and I would politely take both of them into my office and say, hey, we can't do this. I'm going to leave you guys in my office for about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can work this out. But after that, we need to get back on the grind. Because this is what I tell people. If you're married, don't bring home to work. I don't want to see it. Even though coworkers want to see it, I don't want to see it. That makes for a lousy workplace. And that's not what we're about here. I mean, I've seen this at Walmart, Rent-A-Center, a nursing home I was working at. I mean, for what? For what? What you do is at home, leave at home. I tell any and everybody, and I know I'm pretty sure everybody of you guys heard this. When you're on my clock, leave your problems at home. Don't bring your problems here. I don't want to hear you on your cell phone talking about this, that, and the other, or what this person. I kid you not. I was at a transfer station last week. This lady was waiting to dump her truck. When she pulled up to dump, she was on the phone for a better part of 15 minutes arguing with somebody. I don't know who it was, but it was loud. All I can hear is, I know you with her while I'm at work. So clearly something's going on there. Now, while she's arguing with her dude or whoever on the phone, the people at the transfer station are trying to tell her, you need to dump your truck and go. We got to get these other trucks in here so we can dump. Oh, Lord. She was not listening to a damn thing. It got so bad, they brought out management. And when she seen management coming, then she started to pick up the pace. And then manager brought her over and said, I don't know what they said. They just told her, I seen one guy told her to get out the truck, and another manager came in and got the truck and then parked the truck. So after that, I don't know what happened. But that kind of shit doesn't need to happen at work. Leave work at work. When I'm at work, it's hands-on grind time. I'm punched in. I'm locked and loaded. It's time to get this paper. It's time to get it. So people want to see that at work. And again, going back to what I just said, you have those people that want to see you fail. You have those people that want to see your demise. You have those people that want to test your relationship. You have those females or those males that want to talk a certain way to you, but when they know that you have somebody and they know that that person looks damn good, they want to try any and everything to pull that. But when they get that, it's a done deal. Now, is it wrong for your spouse to partake? Yes. But if your spouse is the person that they are and who you married or who you love, then they should have no problem with rejecting any advancements. That's the one thing I loved about my wife. She's half Italian. She could smell bullshit from a mile away. She really could. She wouldn't let nobody get up under her skin. Well, sometimes she would, but she would not even feed into it. And that's the thing about me. People who knew me, knew my wife, would not even mess with me. And what I mean mess with me, they wouldn't make advances. Because my wife, though, oh Lord, I love that woman. God rest her soul. Though she was so small and petite, she was a ball of fire. Cross her the wrong way and see what happens. But she didn't do it like viciously. I mean, she might let you get away with it once, but then the next time she'll come around and she'll politely explain to you. She'll explain it to you, but then maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the conversation, it's going to go left. And no, she wasn't a violent woman, but she could probably see, like women can always sniff out the bullshit between other women because they know that, oh, I know what you're trying to do. No, it ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. So leave work at work. Your home life is your home life. Don't take what happened in the morning, you bring it to work, and y'all both have bad blood, because it can go bad for either one of you. Either way. So as we get ready to close this out, bottom line, everyone is different, and some people would love to work with their partners. Others not so much inclined to share in the work field. Either way, you'll be able to weigh up the pros and the cons of working with your spouse while following up for couples working together and to figure out what will work in the end. So if this is something that you want to pursue, and I know some of us are like, well, we have that wait and see attitude. Well, let's wait and see what happens. No, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, because we all hear the tales of the work husband or the work wife. I personally don't believe in that shit because that does nothing for me. And there's only one wife that I knew. And there's only one wife that I loved. I don't have a work wife at work. I may have an assistant or a co-worker, and that's just what it is. There's nothing more than that. We're not friends, we're co-worker. At the end of the day, you come here to get a paycheck just like I do. Nothing more, nothing less. If there's a friendship to be had after work, maybe. Let's see what happens. But then again, y'all know me as well as I know. I don't have friends. I still don't have friends. Am I mad about that? Hell no. If anything, I give anything to have my wife here with me. God rest her soul, who I love. But it's all good. So, as we get ready to close it out, I want to say thank you, Anisa. I hope that you and Alex are on a better path. I hope that you find something that you are leaning towards, something that you can do. And when you talk to Alex, let him know. I'm pretty sure it sounds like your husband is a stand-up guy. I think the more pressure is on you than him. And it shouldn't even be that way. Just talk to him. Tell him what you're looking to do. Don't give him the negative. Give him the positive side of it. And if you want to say you think your marriage is going to suffer, I wouldn't word it like that. I would just say, well, listen, I want the time to come home to you just to say, I love you. So I love you. I'm not tired of you, but I feel like I should do something different, because what if these things happen? What if this happens? Don't go too far negative. Just stay positive. My friends, I want to say thank you for listening to the show. My name is Derek. I am Endeavor Empire. If you have any letters, complaints, comments, gripes, or just want to talk about anything, my email address is d6empire357@gmail.com. My links are changing. I am navigating away from Facebook. Mostly all my posts should be on social media, and I'm working on Threads. My friends, till next time, take care of yourself and each other. God bless you all. Y'all have a good one.